talking about how you can manifest your dream lover, partner, relationship, or if you're already in a relationship, this is how you can cultivate this true love and connection in that relationship, because there's no limit, of how much love we can experience in life. So why don't we amplify the love that we have? And if you are single, I will show you my manifesting tips on how you can call in that amazing love. I was going to wait to see, oh, thanks Andrew, just see who else jumps on, get a few peeps going. Now I do have an episode flow that I'm going to be looking at my laptop, so if you see me looking this way, I'm just looking at my laptop. I've got 6 points that I really want to cover, so I want to get it really clear for you. And then I also have a freebie if you jump on the, wait, let me get it there, the pinned URL, and I'm going to put that in my link tree as well, and that's going to be the same session flow that we go through, so you can take yourself through this process. It is only 6 steps. Hey Rocky, yes, only 6 steps, so it's super easy for you to go through. All right, now we got a few peeps on. So this again is episode 2 of the Millennial Manifesting Show, my new manifesting show. So I want to make this really mainstream, really normal, so you can bring these manifesting tips, all these process using the law of attraction into your everyday modern life. So whether that's going to brunch with a friend, using Instagram, going for drinks with a friend, like there's no reason why we can't have spiritual principles in a mainstream world. So step number 1 for manifesting your dream lover, partner, relationship is you need to define to the universe very clearly what this dream relationship looks like. I'm not talking about what he or she looks like, or they. It's 2019, let's be all inclusive. It doesn't matter if they're 5'1" or 6'2", or they're buff, like all of that is superficial. And yes, you know what you're attracted to, but you're attracted to the essence of someone, and it's not necessarily just the way someone looks. So you can get into that later, but we want to talk about what your relationship looks like. What are the things that you do together? Where do you go together? What food do you eat out at? Do you go to comedy shows? Do you go to the movies? Do you go to the basketball? For me, I need someone who wants to go to the basketball court. That is something that I love. He doesn't need to be the most amazing person at basketball, but that is something I want to do with my partner, because that is something that I've loved since I was 5 years old. It's a big part of my life. So what are the things that you're doing together? What does your relationship look like? Are you traveling the world? Are you sleeping in on a Sunday and just like cuddling, watching movies in bed? What are you doing together? What is that essence of that relationship that you're actually wanting to call in? And are you doing those things out in the real world now? Are you participating in the things that you want this relationship to bring into your life? But if you're not showing up for that, if you're not doing that in the world, then how are you expecting them to recognize that that's, you're the partner for them? Now, my next point is, what values are important to you in a relationship? Is honesty, someone being faithful, Risha, is it, do you want someone who's really good at communication, so they communicate really openly with you? Is it someone that wants to have a family? You need to know what the values are in a relationship, so you can assert them when you're dating, when you're showing out, up in the world. You know what values are important to you, and you're living in alignment with that, then you're going to attract people, whether it's friendships, relationship, or otherwise, into your world that are a match for those values. So back to point 1, when you're asking, you need to define what your relationship looks like, define what you're doing together, and define what values are important to you, your non-negotiables in a relationship. Now, point number 2 is, how does that feel to you? So if you're manifesting, someone that wants to sleep in on a Sunday, and you're snuggling in bed and you're watching TV, or watching Netflix, watching your favorite documentary, how does that feel to you? For me, bringing back that basketball point, I feel alive on the court. I feel free. I feel in the zone. I feel like I'm getting in touch with this primary school and high school version of me that I loved basketball more than anything. So I know that that's this sport essence that I want to cultivate. So what is it that you want to feel in that relationship? So if you're wanting someone that you describe your relationship as, we cook on a Friday night together and we have friends come over and it feels really great to create with food and it feels awesome to entertain and have like-minded friends close to us. How does that feel? Because from that place of feeling, that is what you're manifesting from, because the universe responds to our energy and not just our thoughts. So you've defined your relationship, you've defined what you're doing, the things, the way that you spend your time together, and now you've defined how that feels. The next point is you need to believe that you're worthy of that. What is your mindset around dating? Do you repeat, like a thought process of, I can't meet someone, or I can never get a good match on Tinder, or no one ever texts me back, or dating in 2019 is fucking shit? Like, what is it that you believe about dating? Because that energy is what you're carrying with you. It doesn't matter what you do out in the world, that underlying energy is not a match to bring anybody in. So I really want you to spend the time, and this worksheet that I've got, so that pinned URL, this worksheet takes you through all of these steps. I want you to get clear on what your beliefs are, and it can be uncomfortable because we don't want to face our shit, right? Like, I was just becoming aware of one of my limiting beliefs in dating just last night with a friend, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is from an ex-partner from like 8 years ago. Like, why am I still carrying that? So that's something that I'm sitting with and I'm moving through, and I have a really good understanding of it now. But you need to understand what your beliefs are, because that is controlling your energy. Your beliefs dictate your energy, which is what you are manifesting. So your beliefs in manifesting are everything. So look at your past relationships, look at the habits that you've repeated. Like, what are your patterns in dating? That will determine what your beliefs are. Then the next step is to catch them. I want you to catch every time you're repeating a limitation. So if you're swiping on Tinder, right, and you're like, there's no one here that I'm attracted to, or every time I match with someone, they don't speak to me, or whatever. Catch yourself in that moment, because again, you are directing your energy, which affects exactly what you're bringing into your world. So catch yourself when you're in the limitation. When you're reinforcing that limitation, you need to catch yourself and take a moment and say, I'm repeating the same bullshit story that I've been telling for 6 years now. I'm choosing a different belief. And just at least catch yourself, stop yourself in that same repetitive bullshit behavior. Now, what else do I have here? Another way, actually, I just had a point that was really good. If you can look at your past relationships, your ex-partners, how do you feel about them? What do you think about them? If you have resentment, if you have nothing but bad things to say about them, even if they really did the dirty on you and fucked you around, if you carry resentment towards your ex-partners, if you label them as an asshole, or she was a bitch, or she was crazy, or whatever, guess what? That energy is affecting you right now. That is your energy. That is what you're bringing into the world. So you need to clean some shit up, and you need to really forgive them and let that go, because that is only affecting you. And that is a really, really good way for you to recognize what your beliefs are around dating and relationships. So you defined your relationship, you know what you're doing, you define how that feels, you've got into the energy of what that feels like, and you're now catching yourself in your limiting beliefs around dating. So you're starting to raise your vibe, right? So you've gone through this process over a couple days. Now you're starting to reprogram, so you've changed your beliefs. Now you're able to look for reasons why things are more positive. So you're going to catch that belief, you're going to stop yourself, and then you're going to look for signs and reasons why the alternative is true. So let's say, so you're going to look for alternatives. So let's say you're back on Tinder, it's been the next day, you caught yourself yesterday, you're back on there today, and you're like, okay, I know clearly what I'm looking for, I know what feeling I'm chasing, I know the limiting belief I had, so I'm going to show up differently. And you're starting now to recognize the opposite to what was subconsciously driving your behavior. So better said, that would be you, because you're aware of what you don't want, you're now aware of what you do want. So you're going to look for people, you're going to maybe show up in a way that is a different conversation that you used to. You're able to have a conversation that's more engaging. You're able to recognize something in someone's profile and create a conversation around that, and not come at it from a limitation or a lack feeling. You're going to show up much more authentically. You're going to show up more outgoing. So you're just going to replace that negative belief that you've been repeating and choose a new direction. Choose behavior in a positive direction where you do want to grow into. And when you start doing that, the more you do that, the more you're going to start seeing signs that are reassuring in that direction. So it's just like I was talking about last week with the money. If you were trying to manifest $2,000 by the end of May, which we're working on from episode 1, but you found $50 on the ground, you're like, fuck, I really just want my $2,000. That's $50 of fucking awesome reassurance that you're starting to become a match for that money. You're starting to bring money into your world, and you were able to recognize that that was there from the universe for you because your energy was a match for that. You were a match to bring that money in. Dating is no different. Did you get a match with someone that they've described in their bio, they've had a lengthy bio, they've actually put effort into it, and they describe things that you're looking for in a relationship. So that is a clue from the universe that you're starting to become a match for that energy in that relationship. Now, that might not eventuate into the relationship that you're wanting, so that's the ultimate goal, that $2,000. But it's a nudge in the right direction because you recognized that that was a match for you. This is what I'm looking for. This is reassurance that you're on the right path. So please don't be discouraged. You have a choice. You can say, this didn't turn out like all the fucking others. I'm so sick of this story. I'm sick of repeating the same shit. None of this stuff works. Or you can recognize, I'm starting to open up to this. I'm starting to see things like starting to come together. I'm taking baby steps in the direction of the thing that I want. I can see it starting to take shape. While I might be disappointed that this might not have worked out, it's reassurance that you are on the right path and you're heading in the right direction. So every time you see something, even if it doesn't fully eventuate to what you're wanting for in a partner, take every bit of reassurance that you are on the right path, because it means your vibration is raising and you're becoming more and more of a match. So it's reassurance, not discouragement. And take note of that. And this again, the pinned little freebie that I've put together for you, this will ask you, you will state all of this. So I want you to be recognizing all the reassurances that you're getting from the universe, and you'll be writing them down. And then that will also train your brain to continue to look for those. Now, so you defined your relationship, what you're doing, what your relationship looks like. You defined the energy of that relationship, so you know what that feels like. And then you checked your beliefs. Sorry, you became worthy of that desire. You checked your beliefs. Now we're going to raise your vibe. So the more you raise your vibration, so the more you recognize the things that you, now that you're starting to recognize reasons why your desire, your relationship, your partner is starting to come into your world, you're starting to get those little nudges from the universe, the reassurances that you're on the right path, I want you to continue to raise your vibration. So now that you're starting to get those reassurances, you're starting to feel like, I think this is starting to take shape. I'm starting to feel a little bit easier about it. I'm starting to feel a little bit more relaxed about it. I want you to continue that energy, because you've started to open yourself up. Whenever you're in your limitation, it's like we're completely blocked. Like we're in fear, we can't see out of our bubble. We've got this lens of like all our bullshit stories. We're trying to, we're reaching for something that we can't even properly articulate. But now that you started to open yourself up, I want you to really amplify that energy. You need to take control of your energy. You need to determine how you're going to show up in the world. How are you going to, how are you going to show up in the world and conversations and enjoy your motherfucking life? And that will raise your vibration, which will continue to bring in all of the reasons, all of the little nudges from the universe that you're on the right track and that you are manifesting. Because if you limit yourself, you start to open yourself up, but then you limit yourself with all the reasons why your life is shit, all the reasons why your life is hard done by, all the things, if you're looking for all the things that annoy you in the world, your energy is going to continue to, go down and be a low vibe, and you'll never be able to bring that person in that you're wanting to, or even the opportunities, because who wants to be around a fucking drainer? I don't. If you drain my life, you're not in my life. And it's that simple. And that's certainly true for dating, whether it's, someone that's in my life for a week or a couple months, or friendships, or a colleague or a new acquaintance. If you drain my life, you're not in my life. So you need to show up in the world like the partner that someone is going to desire. Are you happy? Are you doing the things that you enjoy? Are you scheduling in things that feel really good to you? Or are you sitting on the couch watching Netflix yet again, expecting your life to be different? Because it ain't. You might get, 6 hours of a Netflix binge in. Yeah, cool. Like, nice win for 6 hours. But how do you feel the next day? Are you tired? Do you regret that? Do you wish you did something more nourishing and more fulfilling? So take control of your life. Schedule in things that feel really good to you. Now this is going to be hard to face, because we want to feel like we, can take on the victim mentality. We can take on victim tendencies. And it's hard to take control of our life. It's hard to say, you know what, I've not been doing the things that make me feel really alive, really juicy, really expansive, and like I enjoy my life. It's just easier to feel like life happened to us and that we weren't the director of our life. So, recapping all of the points, and then I'll get to your questions. So you defined clearly what your relationship looks like, the things that you're doing, the things that you enjoy together, the places you go together. Do you travel? Do you cook? Do you swim in the pool? And I'm looking at a pool. I've just moved into a cool villa. What are the things that you're doing in this relationship? Then how do you want to feel in that relationship when you're doing those things, whether you're cooking, traveling, playing basketball, whatever it is that you're doing in that relationship? How does that feel? Because that is the energy that you're manifesting from. Then you need to believe that you're worthy of this. Why are you worthy to bring this in? Why do you feel that you're the right partner, and what can you bring to a relationship? And then catch your negative or limiting beliefs around that. So every time you're in that same old bullshit story that you've been telling for the last 6 years, catch yourself. I want you to then catch yourself and pivot in the direction of the relationship that you're wanting to manifest. And then, now that you've pivoted in the direction of the relationship, what are you doing to feel good in your life? What are the activities that you either love now or loved in the past that you're not doing anymore, and schedule them in? You need to prioritize your fun, because you're not a victim. You're in control of your life. Yes, circumstances happen to us, but how much more fun can you be having? How much more, what things can you do to raise your vibration? Because the relationship you want is on a higher vibration. And if you're showing up like a Debbie fucking Downer, he or she, they are not gonna recognize you, because no one wants to date a downer, right? So raise your vibration, become that happy person, enjoy your life. And state it as done. See it as done. Once the universe can recognize that energy within you, it has to happen. It is law. It is scientifically proven. Look up quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I study this shit all the fucking time. I love it. It, by law, like gravity, doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person. If you jump off a building, you're gonna die in the same way. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person. If you're a vibrational match to something, you're manifesting it. And if you're seeing the exact same stuff happening in your life day after day, then your vibe's not changing. All it takes is to change your vibe, to change your circumstances. And I hope that makes sense. I will get to your questions in a moment. So jump to the link here. So that's my freebie of my 6 steps to how to manifest now. It takes you through, I've put in some Law of Attraction 101, so you have the foundational understanding of Law of Attraction and how it works. And then I take you through a super simple process on how to manifest. Now let's check your questions. Hey Rocky, I'll call you after. Do not worry. Can you manifest dating a celebrity? Technically, yeah. However, What is your underlying belief around that? Is it sorry, Rochelle, I have to call you later. Is it this lofty dream that you have? You know, you've got them on your board, your wall, your vision board, and it's a celebrity crush that you have. Or do you genuinely believe that you can manifest and that you are a match for them? That what they're putting out in the world, you're a match for. The things that they're doing in the world, are you a match for? The level of the stage that they're showing up on, are you a match for that? Or are you reaching, hoping that if you're with them, they're going to bring something to you? Because if that's the case, you're not a vibrational match, because they're playing up on this level and you're playing up here, hoping that you can reach to them, that's going to raise you up. And that's the same in everyday dating. Are you reaching because you feel lackful, and that if you reach for them, they're going to fill that void within you? That's not a match. So technically, yes, you can. Everyday people date and meet, marry celebrities all the time. But again, it's all about vibrational match. So if you don't feel that you're a genuine match for them, and if you feel that it's not possible and it's just this crush dream that you have, then it won't be a match. And I think, so you wrote that a couple times. Can your subconscious do thinking for you? It always does. So our conscious mind is the active thinking that we have. Our subconscious mind directs our whole body operation. So if you're talking about our active thinking mind, no, but our subconscious directs everything that we do. So if you input, let's say you have a belief around a fear of dating, a fear of relationships, so you just got a fear of dating, let's say. Your subconscious will direct you to take action that will compensate for that fear. Because let's say that you've got this fear within you that dating is scary. Your subconscious will have you go in every other direction so you don't face that fear. It will have you go around the people that would actually be a match for you. It would have you start to repeat the same behaviors and attract the same people in. So your subconscious mind always wants to keep you safe. Can my thoughts heal me physically? Absolutely, 100% they can. So again, it comes down to your thoughts you have to believe them. So it's one thing to say, I'm healing, I'm healing, I'm healing. But if your energy is like, I'm sick, I'm scared, underneath that, then that's not the vibrational space that your body needs to be able to heal. However, if you're able to get into the space of, okay, so you're going to bridge, we're going to ladder up to it. So you can start with, okay, Sam's talking about like thoughts being able to direct healing, bring in a relationship type of thing. I'm starting to open myself up to the possibility. Okay, I know people have healed in the past, so I'm sure it's possible for me. And I know I've got a lot of space in my day, so I can start to direct my thoughts towards more healing. And I have felt really good in the past, so this probably isn't any different to that. And I do have a lot of resources at my fingertips, so if I spend a bit of time, I could really get into the energy required. So what you're starting to do is going from that place of where you're at, that current vibration, and you're going up one step ladder at a time to raise your vibration and raise your thoughts. So if you were to go from, I'm not sure what your ailment is or what you're trying to heal physically, but let's just say my dad's got cancer, right? So let's say I've got bowel cancer and I just can't, I'm so scared. And if you were to go from, I now feel super healthy and I'm Superman and I'm back in perfect health, he can't make that jump. No one can make that jump, because you're going from here to here and it's not physically possible, because like attracts like, so you have to incrementally increase that. So if you are incrementally increasing it, then you are going to be taking those steps towards raising your vibration, and your beliefs will move along with them. And there's so many books and stuff out there. Joe Dispenza, you can jump on Joe Dispenza. I love his work. He talks all about reprogramming subconscious mind for healing. Of course, you can have coaching with me. Jump in my DM and we'll chat further. And also get the freebie. This will help you too. All right, guys, I want to keep this under half an hour because the last one was 40 minutes and I started to ramble. I hope that makes sense to you. This was episode 2 of the Millennial Manifesting Show. I love this show, guys. I get so excited every week picking the topic and communicating with you and what you want me to actually cover. Now, I'm gonna start putting this on YouTube so you can replay it, you can get back to it, you can follow all of the steps. Don't forget to get the freebie, and if you have questions about coaching with me, jump in my DM because I am offering one-on-one deep dives. They're 2-hour session, one-on-one, and they're 50% off while I'm launching this whole new manifesting phase of my business. So I was a life coach for women's empowerment, and now I'm moving into manifesting because I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing ever. Everyone thinks I'm woo-woo.